But a question I'd like you all to ask yourself now is what is love? What is love? Like the overarching question, what is love? And then take it a little deeper. Do I love myself? Do I love myself? Do I love my divinity? Do I see my divinity fully? For most of us, our parents, they just weren't able to fully see us, because they were busy working, because they had this tremendous weight of karma on their shoulders, because they had their own pain or struggle or addiction or confusion or their own abuse that had happened to them. The beautiful thing about a newborn baby is oftentimes, in the hospital, like people see that baby when it first comes out. They look into his or her eyes and they tend to fall in love. And they see the child fully in that moment. But then, like here in the United States, oftentimes they take the baby away. They might give it a quick surgery. They might fill it with shots, they're weighing it and doing all these things to it. And then right away, we shift from actually seeing the child, and they start, well, is the child healthy? Is it an okay child? What's it going to be? What are we going to name this thing? And then they start to put a label on it. And then after that, more and more as the years continue, we tend to see that kid less and less. Now, for some people, they do a good job of the first couple of years just really seeing the kid. But then later on, they just get busy, everyone gets back to work, and it's just hard. It's hard. And so this question of, do I love me? It's like, do I see me? Do I see my innate goodness, my divinity? And do I see my humanity, my human self? Am I willing to love this human self? This human self. And so, the great point of this path is not, like I was saying before, just to be absorbed in meditation. The great point of this path, what God wants, is very much what I was speaking with Lindsay about, is waking up to our goddess nature, waking up to our divinity, and then sharing this beauty, sharing our highest self with the world. Being a movement of service, being a movement of love that can go out, and be with kids, be with kids who are in the wilderness, who are struggling. Be with our partner when she's having a hard time. Be with friends and family. But in order to do this, to do it, effectively, we have to love ourselves first. If we don't fully love ourselves, if we don't know ourselves fully, oftentimes we come out as or come off as a very messy servant. A very messy servant. The one that I like is when I was a little kid, they didn't really have cable news, or if they did, I wasn't aware of it because we didn't have cable. We lived out in the country, but, the news came on once a day, and it was like at 7 o'clock at night, and whoever it was, Dan Rather, and I can remember as a little kid, there was some big scandal about a preacher who was, always preaching about how much he hated, I shouldn't say hated, how much he was against prostitutes. And then, of course, he had this huge issue on the side with prostitutes. And, that's a real common one, projection. And part of knowing oneself and loving oneself and doing the healing work of integration is you're able to love the fullness of your being and not push things aside, not have a gaping shadow or a wound, a place that, that you're unwilling to see. And then because you're unwilling to see it, it will revolt and kind of make a mess in your life. And so this question of love, it's overarching. Do I love myself fully? Am I awake and aware of my divinity? And am I awake and aware of every level of my human self? You know, from the most like animal and archaic nature to, you know, our highest, you know, inspirational manifestation of our own human self. And so I'm going to invite you all just to close your eyes. And this will be like a meditation where we're working with inquiry. And so we'll just start with this basic question inwardly. Do I know what love is? Do I know what love is? Am I willing this moment to open? And experience the love of my heart? Am I willing this moment to open and experience the love of my heart? What does love feel like? What does it feel like? Is there something here this moment which is blocking my heart? Covering my heart? Is my heart vast and radiant and free? Or is there something covering my heart? So can you see fully is there something covering my heart? Am I carrying around an old pain? An old heartache? A memory? A belief? A judgment? an old relationship. Is there something covering my heart? This very thing that's covering my heart. What does it need? This pain within me. What does it need? So as you breathe in and breathe out, I invite you to relax your body. Especially relaxing the belly. Can I look at my pain with compassion? We're breathing in and breathing out. Can I love this? Whether it's something small or something large. Can I love this? In addition to this pain, Can I see that my heart is good? Can I see this? Despite the presence of pain or hurt, heartache, confusion, can I see that my heart is good? Can I see that my heart is pure? Can I see that my heart is big enough to love what's within me? So I'm going to invite you all just to feel the love of your heart. See this love spreading out throughout your being, embracing all the places inside which you felt abandoned, divorced, divided, hidden. Can I acknowledge that my heart is big enough to love it all? To love it all. Can I acknowledge my heart is big enough to love what's within me?